Hello, class. This is Scott Caruso coming to you for the last time, week 4, MiU 1206. Here to give you my week 4 discussion. We'll get right down to it because I take way too long on these things. I don't want to drag it on any longer than it needs to go. So, what really went well this week, I thought, was that it was actually the easiest of the 4 weeks for me because my application was fully working at this point. Every one of the earlier requirements was working. All my entire application was doing exactly what it was supposed to. So I was able to just focus on the requirements and just trying to make it look a little bit better, or at least come up with an idea for a color scheme and a background scheme that made sense. And that freed me up to spend a little bit of time trying to fix bugs. I actually knocked out one of my biggest bugs with the application. So that's what I really liked about this week. On the flip side, what I didn't like about this week is that I'm not comfortable and confident in my abilities with things that have to do with the layout, design, and aesthetic of my application. Part of it could be because I'm partially colorblind, and I'm very unconfident in my ability to pick colors that work well together, even using the internet resources like the color hue picker and things like that. I'm never really fully confident, even after I'm done and I've got something that I think looks okay. So that's probably the biggest thing that didn't go well for me, is that even now as I'm recording this video and preparing to finish up this work for the week, I don't know that I feel confident about what I've done. I think I can explain why I did what I did. I'm just not confident that it looks great. So the way that this week reflects back on previous experience, and whether in work or school and whatnot, it's more in school, and I'm finding this in a lot of the fourth weeks of these classes, particularly the design and programming classes, is that by the time the fourth week rolls around, I really feel like I've put it all together and I hit my stride and I'm able to really function at a pretty high level, and I feel like I did that this week. Again, the assignment itself really didn't take me too terribly long, especially when compared to previous weeks. But what it did allow me to do is utilize what I've learned to make some adjustments to my application on the fly. Adjustments that I'm very happy to say I didn't have to use very many online resources to do. It was all stuff that I taught myself or learned through the class in the first 3 weeks. That being said, the way this impacts future activities, whether in school, work, or whatever, and I'm really looking at this holistically for the entire course of the project, the course, the term, is not everything is going to be handed to me on a platter, and I'm not going to be able to follow along with videos and make my application work. My application is unique from student A, student B, and student C's application. So I will never expect an instructor or somebody to be able to just tell me exactly everything I need to know to make my code work. I'm going to have to go out and search it out and learn on my own how my application should function, what I can do to make my application function. And it's so clear to me that that's the way things are going to go in the future, and I'm so happy about that. Because I love exploration, I love learning new things, and I love going down that route. So that's what I feel like I can take away, not just from this week, but from the course as a from the entire course going forward throughout the mobile development program. All right, well, that being said, let's go take a look at the application and the changes that I made for this week. So here are the applications, gold on the left, bronze on the right. For this week, you see two very different schemes. I realize that the bronze app kind of looks bad at the moment. There's a specific reason why, though. I want to talk through my thought process. Actually, let's look at that one first before we look at the gold app. So what I was kind of thinking with this one, my first idea was to try to make the application look like a Magic the Gathering card. So let me pull up a card real quick so you can kind of see what the back of a card looks like. And that's kind of what I started to go with, the blues of the text, which you see in the gold app, but then also kind of a gradient that captures the hues that they use on the backs of the cards there. So that's what I started with. Obviously, as you can see, once it's in practice, it doesn't look good. And I tried a number of different ways to make it look good, and frankly, it just doesn't look that great. So I kept this as an example of a poor or a less good anyway deep background to try to make the stuff pop off. You'll see I've also got some the branding here is kind of supplemented on subsequent pages by a miniaturized version of the logo. I opted against this in the gold app that you'll see in a minute, simply because Planeswalker's binder is not a well-known brand. And though I would love for it to be one day, it's not right now. So just seeing my stylized PB on subsequent pages, I don't know that that tells the user what it is that they're using and builds brand loyalty with me. So I decided against that method of utilizing the logo and the branding across all of the pages. You'll also see the few hues, many values. I've got a number of different hues of blue here being used. Again, it really just makes it look like a mess. And I kind of wanted to display what my app would look like when I try to use the number of different colors from the blue family. Not great. Honestly, once we're through this course, I'm probably going to revert it back to just the plain looking page because my eyes are burning just looking at it. We'll go over to the gold app in a minute. You see it looks much cleaner. The blue grading is much softer. There were two reasons I went with blue. One was because you saw that bluish color on the back of the Magic card. So I wanted to make sure that I took some cues from Magic the Gathering. But also, one of the characteristics of the color blue is intelligence. And Magic the Gathering users, I think, inherently feel like an intelligent group, so I wanted to make sure that the application exuded what Magic the Gathering players feel like. You'll notice that I've got branding on all the pages. Let's do a quick search here for another card. So the branding and the background step across multiple pages. I kind of liked using a similar color and keeping that in the header, just I think I feel like it provides a separation that looks like it belongs there without being too offensive. I left the full branding up at the top of the page simply because of the reasons I gave before, and you'll see that just all of the pages have this same level of branding. I've removed the jQuery stylization on the text because A, it looked really bad against the gradient, but B, it distracted from the content. You weren't focusing on the content so much as you were focusing on the font once I made this change. And you'll see that I really tried to stick to just blacks for text and different hues of blue for the various different components within the page. So a number of different hues, a number of different values rather between those hues. So that's my week 4 application. I had a really good time putting it together. Hopefully you had a good time following along with me this month. I plan on taking the next month when we don't have any programming classes to really spend some time fixing some of these known issues that I've got with the application. So hopefully the next time you see it, it is clean and awesome and you will love it. It's been a great month. Thank you so much for paying attention, and I will talk to you all soon.